So I don't know why, but my Google Classroom giving trouble. Like it's not loading for nothing.
I get that same problem this morning.
I didn't even get a thing in for the roll until like 8:20 somewhere there.
Now
Because it's not
this
loading.
morning I run real late and all too, so you would still get late. But I put in late. I put in after 9. Um, right. All right. So let's get them a couple minutes to come in, right? All right. So when I use this here, um, right. Delete that there. We had plenty more students just now, man. All right. A, B, C. Now, for non-right angle triangles, we have two formulas, right? So the first one is the sine rule. Now, the sine rule is really ratios, right? It says that if this is A, this will be common A. If this is B, this will be common B. If this is C, this is common C. I'll understand how we get the A, common A, capital A thing, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. Yes. So the A's, B's, and C's in this case represent the angles. So the angle here is capital A, the angle here is capital B, the angle here is capital C, right? So in the sine rule, right, it says that the length A, common A, over sine the angle A is the same as the length B over sine the angle B. Sorry, this is B. Let me fix that one time. I like that looking. Right? And it's the same as C over sine capital C. Now, all right, let me write the next formula before I explain them. Right? So then we have the cosine rule. And this is what we was doing last class. So if they ask us to find the length of A, you say A squared is equal, and we start to use the other two sides. So B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cosine the angle at A. Now this could be rewritten, right, in A, B, and C in any form, any other letter as well, right? So when do we use the sine rule? Use the sine rule when two angles and one side is given to find the third side, or two sides and one angle is given to find the third angle, to find the next angle. Let me fix that a little bit just now. Okay, done. Right? And this cosine rule, when two sides and opposite angle is given, to find one side, because a triangle only have or when three sides to find the angle. Right? So may I explain that again. In the sine rule, right, we only use two sections at a time. Not we don't ever use all three sections, and you have to learn to cross multiply. Right? So let me say this is the triangle, right? Call it P, Q, R. They give us this angle here, and they give us this angle here, and they give us this side. They want us to find common P. Right? Sorry, not I put this 5 on the wrong side. Right? They gotta be opposite the angles. Right? So the sine rule, anybody could tell me what the sine rule will be? In terms of P, Q, and R. So this opposite R will be common R, opposite Q will be common Q, opposite P will be common P, right?
Also,
Okay. So what they give us for the sine rule? They give us R, which is common R. They give us P, which is common P. So common P over sine the angle at P is equal to common R over sine the angle at R, right? So the angle at R was theta and the angle at P is alpha. So we will write it over P sine alpha, this is common P, is equal to 5 in this case sine theta. Right? So if you write either one of these equations, you would have been correct. And this is only when they don't give us a right angle triangle. Let me try something else here now. What about if they give us this side? Right? And well, this is R and this is Q. What will be the formula in that case? Anybody? We can write the formula in terms of Q and R now.
Mm.
I'm not sure.
All right. So what letter come first? Between Q and R.
R.
All right. So R over sine capital R is equal to common Q over sine capital Q. Right. So that's the the formula we're going to use. What about if we use numbers now? So if I tell you here is 30, and I tell you here is 5 centimeters, and I tell you here is 45 degrees, right? And here is x. You want to find x. What will be the formula we're using?
Five over 30 is
5
equal
over
to x over 45.
to get the sine 30 is equal to x over sine
X
45.
45.
And that'll be correct. Right? Anybody know how to solve this?
No, sir.
Then just a cross multiply.
Cross multiply. All right. What do you mean by cross multiply? Now, we have sine 45 here, right? This line means to what? To divide, right? What's the opposite of divide?
Yes, sir.
Multiply.
Multiply.
If I multiply by sine 45 here, and this will cancel out.
Yeah.
All right, so if I multiply it on the right, I multiply it on the
Yeah.
left. So we could use the calculator now and say, well, all right, sine 45 equal multiply by 5 equal divide by sine 30 equal. Right? So this thing here, if I work it out in the calculator, I get 7.07 is equal to x.
Yes, I got that too.
All right.
Yes,
I got
sir.
it.
But is this correct? What missing?
No, sir.
What missing?
Centimeters.
Right. So we could have said 7.07 goat, 7.07 car, 7.07 anything. If we don't have the units, we don't know what it is, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So I think I could figure out the sine rule, or let's do one more example.
Do one more, sir.
Yes, sir. Do one more.
Yes, sir.
All right. Remember, still have the cosine rule to do it. All right, so another triangle. Let me change the angle right now. So it doesn't really matter. Right? The lettering doesn't matter either. Let's call it L, M, N. If I tell it this is the angle alpha, and I tell it this angle here is 60 degrees, and opposite the 60 degrees, I have 50 meters, and opposite this, I have, trying for not to be equal. Let's put 45 degrees. 45 meters. All right, let's see how we go. What will be the formula? Now, I want the formula in terms of L, M, and N, because as a formula rewriting, you're not just going to write how to work it out. What will be the formula? Well, what sides are given? This side is what? The 50-meter side will be called what? Common.
Hypotenuse.
No, Mark, it's not a right angle triangle. Hypotenuse. Common L. And this side here will be called the common M, right?
And
right? So what will be the formula we're using? So again, which letter come first?
N.
L, right? So common L
Or
over sine the angle at L is equal to common N over sine the angle at N. Now let me fill it in. What's the value of common L?
50.
50.
Right? And sine was the angle at L.
60.
60.
And was it the length of N? 45. And then
45.
we don't know the angle for alpha. We want to find alpha, right? Now, just like before, we had a cross multiplier whatsoever. But in this case, we want to find this, but it's a denominator. So if I multiply it by itself, sine alpha, right? It will cancel off here, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
All right, but it will come on top here because we had a multiply there, right? Because we multiply on the right, we must multiply on the left. So far we have sine alpha multiplied by 50 over sine 60 is equal to 45. And I'm breaking it down into steps, right? Now, obviously, I want to find sine alpha, so I'll do what? I want to get rid of the sine 60. What's the opposite of dividing again?
Multiply.
Multiply.
Right, so if I multiply by sine 60, we'll cancel off with the sine 60. I'll come here, sine 60, right? So I'm breaking it down into as much steps as possible, right? Oops. So what will be remaining so far? We have sine alpha by 50 equal to 45 by sine 60. Now, I want to get rid of the 50 by dividing. If I do it on the right, I must do it on the left. Sorry, if I do it on the left, I must do it on the right. So I'll have sine alpha is equal to 45 by sine 60 all over 50. I'll understand how I reach here, right? Now, it have a shorter way to do that. So if we had 50 over sine 60 equal to 45 over sine alpha. What we was talking about cross multiplication, right? Is that fractions is work like this. We diagonally multiply or interchange, right? We diagonally multiply or interchange, right? So I want to find the sine alpha, so I'll diagonally multiply it to get sine alpha over whatever, right? Now, if I interchange it and I switch them, sine will come on top and the 50 will come below. That's what we call an interchange. Now, 45 was here and I'm moving the 45. If I move the 60 from here, it'll come multiply by 60 because, sorry, not 60, sine 60. Can't find the mouse. Again, right? Sine. And this is the same thing now, not so? So that's what I mean by cross multiplying or cross interchanging. If you could learn to do this in one step, you don't have to write all of that. So let me explain it one more time for you. And we could do it in any terms of whatever. So if this is A over B, and this is C over D, I want to find D, right? We could interchange the A and the D, and let's multiply the D by the C. So interchanging, wherever I see D, A, I'll put D, and wherever I see A, D, sorry, I put A, so I interchange it, I switch the position, and the C now would multiply by the D. If we have A over B equal to C over D, and I want to find C, all I do is carry the D across. Once it crosses the equal sign, it went from the bottom to the top. Right? So that's how cross multiplication does work. You can either switch it or cross multiply. Right? So once it goes from the left to the right, if it was on the bottom, it goes on top. Making sense?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, let me try this again. I find
Yes.
out kind of move slow there. If I have P, Q over R, S equal to L, M over N, O, right? I want to find RS, right? Because I want to find RS, it cannot be on the bottom, it must be on top. And the only way for it to be on top, it have to go across here. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
But if I carry this across here, I don't want the LM. So the LM will interchange, it will switch position. So let me write it. If this is equal sign and this is the fractions, I'll have RS here now, and I'll have LM to the bottom. But again, I want the RS by itself. So if I move the NO and it go across the equal sign, it go to the top, not so? So I have PQ by NO.
Yes, sir.
All right. So that's basically what we did, right? So let me try to the formula again. So we had 50 over sine 60 is equal, right, to 45 over sine alpha. So I want to find sine alpha. I want to make that the subject of the formula. So it have to go to the top, right? But because we want it by itself, we would interchange the values. So the sine 45 will come on top and the 50 will come below. Yes or no? So let us change position. It was on top on the left hand side. When it comes to the right, it become below, right?
Yes, sir.
The sine 60 now was below. So when it go across the equal sign, it go on top. So we have 45 by sine 60. So instead of doing all of this, you could have do it in one step. Right? And now we could work it out using the calculator. 45 multiplied by sine 60. 45 by sine 60 equal, then divide by 50 equal 0.779, right? Now,
Meters.
remember, we want the value of alpha, and it's sine alpha. What's the opposite of sine? When you cross the sign to the equal side, it becomes sine inverse, right? And how we get sine inverse on the calculator again?
Sir, I can't.
Second function,
Second
sorry.
function.
Right.
Sine.
Sine, and then type in 0.0779. Oops, I put the extra 0 in mine. And we get 51 point something.
0.12.
0.12. You can get 1.2. Right? Now alpha. What's the units for angle?
Because
No,
degrees.
degrees. So once it's an angle, we have to put degrees, right? Right. So that's the sine rule. I feel I've got to do the same thing next class tomorrow for the cosine rule. So let me see if I can,
Yeah.
That's good.
because I have a class in 10 minutes. So let me see if this on my desktop. Remind me that we're using this tomorrow, right? Desktop. Sine trigonometry. Right. So I save that there. All right, so the cosine rule now. All right, I feel I might have to do tomorrow. I don't think I have enough time to do that now. Before you all leave, I'm gonna take rule.
Present.
And we have less people now than before. All right, Adisha,
Yes, sir.
Afia didn't come in, right?
Nope.
Brian was here. Kiana here.
Yes, sir.
Jennifer coming from the beginning. Brianna here. Naomi. Did Naomi come in the first session?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll present. Ariana.
Excuse
Yeah. Somebody say excuse. Anybody? Nobody? All right. Kiasha. I saw Kiasha and them coming, so I'll put them present. Chelsea, was Chelsea here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Dariel, I don't think I see Dariel had come in. Kevian was here. Did Jeddah come in?
No, sir.
No, sir, I don't think so.
Yolanda. Anybody see Yolanda?
No.
Haley. Maybe I can't remember seeing Haley. You know. Nyla wasn't here. When Nyla was here?
No, he was here. I don't know.
Yes,
I
sir.
was.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
I think it's all out.
Different people. Devante was here.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Mark was here. I think I see Tyrese in the beginning. Strone wasn't here, but Shekwan was here. William here. Jibril was here, and Isaiah was here. All right. All right, so what I'm gonna try to do, I'm gonna try to upload the first video on YouTube. So I can get the notes from it. So you can pause it and write it down. And then I'll upload this one after,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
All right, cool.
Okay, sir.
All right, enjoy the rest of your day.
Same to you, sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye.